Hi everyone, Alex here. Today we're going to be checking out my man, another fellow Brit, James Bond 007 on the Odin Pro. We're going to have a look at all the best James Bond games, so I'm not going to be looking at Rogue Agent or Quantum of Solace. And we'll also check out a couple more bonus games by the great minds at Rare and Free Radical, which are Perfect Dark and Timesplitters 2. I'm trying to find the best way to play these games, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. So we're going to start off with the Nintendo 64, checking out GoldenEye. Now with GoldenEye, I've done my best to try and calibrate this to work as a twin stick shooter. I'm going to try and use both sticks. And I'll show you how I've done that once I jump into a level. So let's check out, say, Archives. So I can't use the left stick at the moment. The right stick is my control stick, and you'll see why at the moment soon. So start with Agent. Oh, had a little hiccup there. Haven't heard that one before. So we'll see once I go into the options that I have set the control scheme to 1.2 solitaire, which shows the stick as look and the D-pad and C buttons are now the move buttons. So then I've gone and made a controller profile so that the left stick is now the right stick and the C buttons are now the left stick, which should help me play it as a twin stick shooter with every other button exactly the same. It's not quite as good as you'd like to hope it was, but... Did I run out of ammo? I did. Now these older games are always harder to play with trying to do it as two sticks because the N64 controller was just not meant to be played that way. I'm pretty sure whenever I played GoldenEye as a kid I had it on the default controls, but for some reason it just works strangely well with that control pad. Like whenever you pick up an N64 controller and play GoldenEye, it just plays exactly how you remember and you don't worry too much about it. Like when you actually try and aim, and it all works with this control scheme, it just doesn't feel very natural. Especially because I think with the N64, that was back in the time where we didn't demand like perfect sensitivity from our joysticks. Oh no, he dropped a grenade. So when I try and be gentle with this, I can, but I think it's half and half really, half the N64 and half the Odin. Because these are small joysticks, you can't help but be a bit blunt with some of your movements. But yeah, this is really fun to play and it's running very smooth. I did a video on the N64 some weeks ago, and I went into detail about how I made like widescreen profiles to play these games and how to customize a unique controller profile for each game if you're into that. But I don't know, it might actually be better to just try and play this the way it was intended, where you move around with the left stick and look around with the C buttons. I don't know, it's confusing, isn't it? It's the controller's fault. Because this is the norm now, two sticks. But yeah, GoldenEye's running very well, as it should. So let's get out of there. Next game we're going to have a look at is The World Is Not Enough. This is one I don't remember too well. I actually had a lot of problems trying to run this. It might actually help if I open the emulator instead. Because when I tried to run the game, I kept coming up with problems where like it wouldn't load the models properly or had very weird shadows. So what I have set it to is an emulation profile called Glide 64 Accurate. And did I do it inside here? Or is it up here? And then I set the screen scaling to just stretch to 16:9, because then it fills the screen and it looks pretty good. And that was the only way I could get the game running as well as I would have liked. So let's load save state where I got some action going on. Now I have to remember the buttons. I think it is if I hold B and press shoot, he'll put his silencer on. And I've set this exactly the same way as a twin stick shooter. So if I was to go to options, controller style, I've picked the third controller style. So the C buttons move and look is the control stick. And I've set auto aim on because it's so hard to aim in these games. And this is a lot more fun than I remembered it being. There's also a PlayStation 1 version of this game, but it was made by a different company. I think pretty much everybody agrees that the N64 version is the superior version. And it was a lot better than people expected it to be, but I reckon that's because the Tomorrow Never Dies game on the PlayStation 1 just sucked. It really did. I remember buying that game and being so disappointed. So I want to select Safecracker. One of the nice things about this game is when you go to options, it tells you the shortcuts at the bottom. So like to get gadgets, just hold the A button and press B. See, I remember getting Tomorrow Never Dies on the PS1. I think I got it secondhand. It was shortly after it came out. I was really excited to go home and play it because I loved GoldenEye so much. And then I think I finished it in like a day and just wanted to sell it. I was just so sad about it. You know, a lot of people rent video games, especially back then. And I think we had a Blockbuster where you could rent games, but it wasn't something we did for some reason. Never really thought about renting games. I was always buying secondhand, or maybe a birthday come up. Oh no, I killed a good guy. I don't actually know what you do in this mission, but I just wanted to test this, show you that you had to pick a certain profile to get this game running. C-Bond, if it doesn't auto-aim on the character, they're not bad. It only auto-aims on the bad guys. But yeah, I was surprised the stretch to 16:9. It doesn't look chunky. It looks like it is widescreen, so that looks really good. I actually kind of want to play this because I don't remember it at all, but I know it was good. Alright, the next game we're going to have a look at is Agent Under Fire. And, you know, I've been testing a lot of PlayStation 2 recently, and I have actually tested all of these next bunch of games on the Gamecube and the PS2. So in this case, for example, I've found that, let's open the Dolphin emulator, that Agent Under Fire runs best on the Gamecube. I tried the PlayStation 2 version, and it got to a section where there are all these plants later on in this level, and it tanked to about 70% speed, and I just could not do anything to fix that, so I gave up on it. Then I tried the Gamecube version, and it's just really smooth and runs very, very well. So this is at 1080, and I guess the only options I need to show you are here. So this is what I've got ticked. Really not much needed to be done with this game. But one thing I did find... hang on. Which is it? It's the claw. Oh my god, this game gets really ridiculous with the James Bond theme, like the amount of times it plays that. But yeah, sorry, one of the things I noticed is, I think if you can, it's best if you can try and get this game running on a PlayStation 2, because these sticks are just, they're just better. What's the, I was trying to reload. So, like, aiming on the PS2 version was just not as sensitive as this is. And the PlayStation 2 emulator is, you know, 8th-SX2 is getting better. I'm starting to realize that a lot more games are playable on it than when I got the Odin months ago. Ooh. So I'm starting to think about deleting some of the Gamecube games I have and converting them over to PlayStation 2. Which is exactly what I did with Timesplitters 2, and I'll show you that later. Oh, it's so weird. I want to shoot, but I have to press the gadget button. So on the PlayStation 2 version, there are a couple of spots even here where it just kept running a bit choppy. No Bond, not fireworks. Just an explosive can. You see how I'm doing it? I actually really loved this game when it came out. I think it's weird because going forward, all the Bond games start to get a certain how do you describe it? Like an Electronic Arts feel. I actually think the gunplay in this is really fun. They just have really fun sounds to them. And the bullets look chunky and slow. It's like very video gamey, but it works. The only downside to this version is those loading screens are a bit abrupt. So the PS2 version had a bit of slowdown here. I can't see. Is there anyone there? Again, I'm looking at the capture to play. Shoot him! Shoot him! You see what I mean about abrupt loading screens? Like you don't even know. So this is the area on the PlayStation 2. Once I hit here, boom. The speed tanked. There was nothing I could do about it. Yeah, Agent Under Fire is a pretty good game. I think at this point all of these GameCube, PS2, James Bond games, they're all pretty solid. I think most people have the best memories with Nightfire. The multiplayer was very good in that game. So let's check out Nightfire. And Nightfire is a game we're going to be checking out on the PlayStation 2. So I have tested this on the GameCube. This is what I initially first played it on, and it played okay. It played decently in parts. So what I have Nightfire set at is I'm going to post my PS2 settings again, so you know to refresh your settings to safe mode and turn on a couple of things like widescreen, skip duplicated frames. And Nightfire here I have OpenGL at 2x resolution, and the audio is set to synchronization mode async mix, just in case it slows down, it doesn't disrupt the game. But we're going to get to a weird place now where some of these so let's take Nightfire for example. If I set the resolution to 0.5, which would absolutely make some games run a lot smoother, it made absolutely no difference. This is a really weird game to configure. So OpenGL 2x, and there was really nothing else I could do. So what I'm going to tell you is in the first couple of levels, there are some like big dips that come out of nowhere, and I think it's something to do with the snow, like when you start seeing snow come down or something. But there's a couple more areas, and it didn't make any sense to me. I couldn't figure out a way to make this work. However, I'm going to show you this level in particular because on Dolphin MMJR, this level just kept hitting really bad drops. Like, it was at that point where I was like, oh, I don't know if I could recommend this to anyone. Whereas on the PlayStation 2, this level runs strangely smooth. So good thing I'm playing on Agent because I'm getting absolutely shredded here. I have no idea where I'm getting shot from. But we just want to get out of this area, which did have like noticeable dips on the MMJR. And levels like this are usually good tests because they're like, they're a giant level and you're going to keep coming up across like big showpieces like that. So in MMJR, things like that would start showing you like drops here and there. So I found this like quite annoying to play on the Gamecube. But on the PS2, this whole level runs really smooth for some reason. I don't know why. So this is why I'm saying to play this on the PlayStation 2. Just seems to work the best. Goddamn stick. Thanks, Zoe. It's at this point I should probably say go ahead with your recommendations in the comments, because usually okay, there's some games I'm not really into. So like someone recommended, can you check out like Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, but I think Sly Raccoon, but I'm not personally into PlayStation platformers. I don't know, they just never did anything for me. I was a bit of a Nintendo fan, to be honest. That's changed now. But yeah, somebody was like, oh, can you test out like James Bond games and other PlayStation shooters? And I thought actually it'd make a really good video to just test all the really good James Bond games and show how best to play them on the Odin. And hopefully this is like all across the board, like the Odin base, the Odin light. So yeah, you get a feel for this level. I just wanted to also have a quick look at the driving level. Let's press the fast forward button, because this loading isn't real. I find that really strange. I do distinctly remember that this level kept crashing for me on MMJR. What? I only rammed them from the back. That'd be a great excuse. But I only rammed them from the back. This was a really cool period for James Bond games, because when you play James Bond, you do want that like whole experience of being a spy, and he is a commander of vehicles, And because EA already was like making like really good driving games, they had like the engine and the teams to do it. So these James Bond games were just like, oh crap. They were just, they were an experience, man. Which also brings me on to remind everyone that there's a new James Bond game in the works by AYN, the guys who made the Hitman games. And that's a pretty solid team to come up with a brand new James Bond game. So pretty excited about what they might come up with. So yeah, we've had a good look at that. That's Nightfire. Next game we're going to have a look at is Everything or Nothing, which is also going to be played on PlayStation 2. Oops, let's open up the emulator for that one again. So, Everything or Nothing, I'm going to show you, there was an introductory level, a training level, and then there's the first level where there's lots of explosions and rappelling. We're going to start from there. And Everything or Nothing is, we're using Vulkan at 2x, and the audio is, again, set to async mode, just in case there's any dips. The intro level did have a few spots where it was a bit rough, but then I was surprised to see it actually run really well. Vulkan made the biggest difference, and I couldn't find any other way to find a larger improvement, but it seems to be running nearly 100% the whole time. Again, I tried this one on the Gamecube, and it did start off with some rough spots, but it does seem like PlayStation 2 is the way to go here. The other benefits to PlayStation 2, so I already said the sticks seem a little better when you're doing your aiming, but also you have all these like true applied widescreen patches, whereas in MMJR it's a widescreen hack. Oh god, I don't want to die already. Everything or Nothing is also a very fun game, a really good spy experience as well, some amazing driving levels, and really good music too. The music is composed by Sean Callery, who also did the 24 series. But yeah, we are not really getting any drops. Music's fantastic. Oh god, can he just die by touching that fire? That's amazing. Sorry, Bond. I'm a big James Bond fan. I really like the films. I really like the music. David Arnold did some like terrific music up until Casino Royale. But he also did the music for... I think he did the music from Russia. I swear he did the music for one of these James Bond games. But yeah, when they bring back James Bond in the future, with whatever actor or whatever, I really hope the music's like really good. Actually, I do have this idea of coming up with like a fake James Bond soundtrack and having a stab at like what the future of James Bond might sound like. I don't know if I'll ever do it, but if I ever did, I'd absolutely try and show the producers like that album somehow. Wait, are these textures busted? What is this room? No, like that's gotta be a texture thing. Okay, just forget that you saw that room. Sorry, I'm not playing the game properly. I know there's a cover system and things, but I just sort of want to show the game. Is there a way I can show maybe the first level briefly? Also, I don't know why that's zoomed in as much as it is. It looks like a Game Boy game at that point. Let's have a look at the first level. Hopefully it lets us skip the cutscene. Also, fake loading screens. Oh, but it says press R2, but I've swapped my shoulder buttons. So here you're seeing that we're going to get some drops. I don't know if you can, what does it say? 75 to 80%, but it was really just this moment. And Dolphin MMGR did the same thing. This is a really fun game. It's also really fun to like get in cover and then actually aim and try and pop off a headshot. Kind of reminds me of the game Operation Winback on the N64, which I really liked playing. So yeah, apart from that little bit at the start, I think it was like with the camera zoomed up with Bond and then just showing lots of enemies on screen, like in that small slice. But yeah, that's everything or nothing. Next game I'm going to have a look at is From Russia with Love. This is one I'm going to show you the PlayStation 2 version and the Gamecube version because I think this is one where people will make a choice of one or the other. Oh, actually I wanted to open it up in the emulator just in case I need to look at the settings. So with From Russia with Love, which also plays a lot better than I remember. Amazing two-player mode as well, by the way. So this is in Vulkan at 2x with audio set to async mix as well. We're just going to load state here to the very first level. I wanted to test further, but I felt like there was enough to show where you'd see it run well and run with problems in both versions. So, for the most part, it runs well. Moments like this, it seems to be terrific. But then there's some like weird moments I can't explain. Also, he is just begging to be shot. So you get around to this corner here, and then the speed like tanks for like some reason. So we're at like 70%. I don't know why it does that. Get around this corner, kill this guy. And then you got this room full of people, and it's pretty good again. And you're like, what? But there's so much more going on in this room. And you look up. It's kind of okay. There's like a moment where it's a particular angle where it'll start to like tank. Get around this corner, go up the stairs. And then looking over in this direction again, we're going to get some slowdown in speed. But I mainly just wanted to show there's like moments where it runs really well. And then there's moments where it just dips hard like that, and it's a kind of uneven experience. And again, I've tested all different like settings to see if anything would make a marked improvement. Like, oh, up here, damn, bam, really starting to chug again. Starting to chug again. So it's just on and off, and maybe it's just this location, but it's the kind of thing where if you're already running into it now, maybe that's something you're going to expect later on as well. So let's get out of there, and we're going to have a look at the GameCube version on Dolphin MMJR. Same location. So this is at 1080. Oh, I made the state here. Let me start from the start. I'm just going to show you my settings again. everything ticked except for sync on skip, and we've put it at 300% overclock. Let me see if I can... Oh yeah, this is the thing. So when you press start, you can't see the options. I don't know why. I went to check out this game on MMJR2, and it was so slow that I didn't even bother. So I can't tell what to do in those menus. I think one of these is the options. I have no idea. But this is a very smooth experience, except when you see the sides of, like, looking at the sides of the screen. This is the widescreen hack causing those weird problems. There is actually a little bit of slowdown, but it's not as uneven as the PlayStation 2 version. So if it wasn't for the menu, maybe I would recommend this version. And I'll be honest, I haven't tested this enough properly. I haven't played with the settings enough to find out which setting maybe works better than the other. Same with overclock speeds, underclock. I went to like 50% underclock. It was like, nah, not right. Then I went to, oh, nice Bond. Then I went to 300%. It was just a lot smoother, so I went, okay, let's do that then. So yeah, just wanted to show you the PlayStation 2 and GameCube versions, so you can see for yourself what you think about that, what you'd go forward with. I think after seeing both again now, I'd personally like bite my lip and just see how the PlayStation 2 version turns out. But yeah, there's some good sides and downsides to both. So that's From Russia with Love. And the last Bond game we're going to have a look at is on the Wii, and I've shown this one before, so I'm going to open the emulator again for this one, because otherwise I might not be able to show you my settings, and I have to select Wii at the bottom. I got too used to the version of MMJR that had every game grouped together. And I think this game just loads up and assumes that your controller is a GameCube controller. It's been a while since I've tested around with MMJR and all that stuff, so I can't exactly remember. This game runs very well. I think I do have a save state at this facility, but I wanted to just start level 1 again because I think it's better to show the game off. Unfortunately, MMJR does not have a fast forward button, so I can't just skip all this and get to the meat and potatoes of the game. Meat and potatoes. I haven't said that in ages. So yeah, I'm wishing before this video now that I made a save state just to get to the menu. There we go. So let's do mission select. In the dam, just pick simple agent mode. I can skip this. I don't know why MMJR doesn't have a fast forward button. You can set it in the settings to like 200% speed, but I wish there was like a toggle button so you could set it one way or the other. Oh, I can press continue. And now I'm crossing my fingers hoping nothing's changed since when I last played this. I don't actually have a FPS counter on. Now I played this. I didn't play it on the Wii. What did I play it on? I know I played it on a controller, but it wasn't the Wii version. And I didn't really like what they did with it. Like the changes they made. I think they made 006 into a more forgettable character. But it's a decent game. It's just not one of the better Bond games. Z and B. It just chokes him and punches him in the face. I think it was the look he gave him. Like, I don't like that look. I think it was around this time when stuff like James Bond started to feel very Call of Duty-like. Some games started to, a lot of FPS games all started to like feel the same at this point in time. Why is it not aiming? You know what? They've given me a sniper rifle, but I just couldn't care. What other guns have I got?
What are you doing, 007? Taking a tea break? Let's get on with it.
I'm not taking a tea break. It was just a lot faster to do it this way. Plus, this is the era of gaming where you always had regenerative health. So you just don't feel afraid for your life at all. Good job, video games.
Nobody ever died being too careful. Words to live by. So how much do you know about Ormond? Only what I read in the dossier. After the fall of the Soviet Union, you became jealous of
Yeah, and the whole game's like this. I went up to the facility. It didn't slow down at all. It ran very well. Looks very good. If you fancy playing GoldenEye 007, the Daniel Craig version, and whoever this guy is, go for it. And that's all the James Bond games, but I did say we'd look at some bonus games like Perfect Dark and Timesplitters 2. So let's go have a look at... I should change that, but it's too funny. Nintendo 64. We're going to have a look at Perfect Dark. Do I want to... Did I make a save state? I think I did. What am I doing? I made a favorites list. So I'm going to load my save state to the first level. The only annoying thing about playing this game is it is the N64. And the N64 had huge slowdowns, so it doesn't matter that this device is more powerful than the N64. When this game wants to slow down on the N64, we get that experience too. But god, I've set this as a twin stick shooter and it feels really weird. So yeah, lots of in-game slowdown here. I don't know what it is. With Rare and the guys who made these games, they made it so satisfying to shoot people. And I swear it's mostly like the animations and like the way they just receive bullets. So I remember one time I was playing like Call of Duty 4 and I kept describing the game as like shooting paper cutouts of army men. Because it really felt like you just sort of shot something and there was no like real feeling to it. Like they may as well have just been like paper targets. I don't know what floor I'm on. I can't hit him. Did not pick up... That guy has 2 silencers. I thought he was supposed to pick 2 silencers up. Oh, this was always annoying, trying to wait for these elevators one way or the other. And yet, with GoldenEye and Perfect Dark in particular, I really wish there was some form of a 360 emulator for Android. Because I would love to play the Xbox Live version of Perfect Dark. Because that is the best way to play Perfect Dark. It's really good. And then there's the... was it leaked this year or last year? It was like a remake of GoldenEye that never got released. And maybe it will see the light of day again, but you could emulate it, I think. It's actually one of the things I plan to do when I get the AYN Loki. I actually want to get a 360 emulator and try and get the better versions of GoldenEye and Perfect Dark on there, because I think that would be really sweet. But yeah, that's Perfect Dark. And the last one we're going to have a look at, if I can close this, come on, there you go, is on the PlayStation 2. Oops, wrong button. And that is Timesplitters 2. A game I put way too many hours into when I was younger. So we're going to load state to the first level. I can't remember if I need to change something. So, with Timesplitters 2, this is OpenGL at 2x with hardware download mode disabled. And there's only one problem, so you can see there's like these lights showing through the walls and textures. This is a problem with hardware download mode, I think, but it's what makes the game playable. When you start the game, it went down to like 30% or something. That's ridiculous. Turn hardware download mode off to disabled, and boom, the game goes up to 100%. And it runs, I guess I would say it runs even better than the Gamecube emulator. So now I have to remember how to play this. And it feels a lot better to aim on the PS2 emulator than on the Gamecube. The Gamecube felt very rigid, did not feel very nice. I gotta reposition myself. I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. I can't aim. There. I took the Odin off screen. I actually switched it for an even better Odin that runs the game even better. Where are my guns? Okay. The pistol kind of sucks in this game because it fires so slow. But honestly, I only tested this today, and I was very, very surprised how well it ran. Like, hardware download mode was the key. Turn that off, and it's buttery smooth. I can't be asked to do any proper aiming. I can use this, but I'm not. I just want to sort of rush through the level and show a bit more of it. But this is really, really cool. So yeah, again here you see the lights are showing through the wall. If you can get over that, then you've got a game that runs very, very well. The auto aim in this isn't very good for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I played this so much when I was younger, and I spent so long on that level editor. I made so many different levels. And when you make a good level, you feel amazing. You feel like you can be a game designer. But I wish it had more like options, like more textures for walls and things. Because apart from the map layouts, all the levels just look the same that you made pretty much. But it was cool to like play around with the lighting. I think you could make like some disco rooms, some dark rooms. I remember like color coding rooms because you like one of the things you could do was like put keys around to get around the areas. And traps and things, so like waves of enemies will come in if you get discovered. So you could actually like try and make some stealth levels. So maybe now's a good time to try and recap this. GoldenEye and The World Is Not Enough on the N64 were both great, very playable. All depends on your control schemes for those two games. Agent Under Fire on the Gamecube ran flawlessly as well, I think. Oh, wow. Nightfire, the two levels I showed you ran great. I didn't actually get to show you a couple of moments and things where I saw slowdown. So if you do play that on the PlayStation 2, I would say don't be surprised at the start if you notice some big dips here and there. And I don't know exactly what caused them, but the two levels I showed you just did not work very well on the GameCube. So that's why I'm saying it's best to be played on the PlayStation 2 emulator. And From Russia with Love, showed you two different versions. Up to you what you decide is the version that might be most playable. Ow. What's that noise? I think I'm gonna die. Restricted access. And then we looked at the bonus games. Perfect Dark, just the same as the other N64 games. Up to you what your controller profile is. But besides the N64 being a crappy machine, it ran fine. And here, Timesplitters 2 is just running absolutely perfectly. Apart from just seeing these lights through some of these walls. And that is all the James Bond 007 games, the good ones, and the other two legendary Timesplitters and Perfect Dark games. So I want to cover some more games soon, so if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, subscribe, hit the bell button if you want to see some more content, and I'll be around for another video soon. So have a great day. I'll see you around. Bye bye.